Hi, I'm Vicky. Today I want to show you just how quick and easy it can be to make a denim bag out of an old pair of jeans, and this is an old duvet cover. This is a vintage duvet cover I picked up in a local charity shop. So these are my jeans. I'm going to be making the bag panels using from here to here. First thing I'm going to do is cut out along the crotch here, so I've got two pieces of denim. I'm just going to cut this bit out here too. So now I've got two legs. So I'm just going to cut down here, separate it out. I'm going to save this seam for something different project. Oh, this has got a bit of a, has it got a curve? No, it is lying flat. The top of my bag, so this is going to be my straight edge. And I think I'm going to go down to, 18. Yeah. I am going to go down to 18 inches for the depth of the bag, and for the width of the bag I'm going to incorporate these two pockets and allow a little bit of seam allowance. So I'm going to go 15 and a half, because that will give me half an inch seam allowance and a little bit of manoeuvrability in terms of the sewing machine and this rivet here. So 18 by 15 and a half. I'm going to cut that out of fusible fleece, and then I'm going to iron it onto the back of the denim just to give the bag a little bit of form. So when you're adding your fusible fleece, add it a little bit below the waistline so that you've got room to add your lining later without this showing. And then think about the edge of your pockets. I can just feel that rivet there. You need to have a little bit of space either side of the pockets. So iron it on. I ironed it up from the right side of the denim, obviously the glue side of the fusible fleece towards the denim, and then trim. You don't have to use fusible fleece in your bag. You don't have to add anything, but I like that to have a little bit of form to it. See, lots of people have cotton totes just as they are, but I do prefer a bag with a bit of form. So having said that, I'm now going to add fusible interfacing to my lining. So I'm going to cut my lining exactly the same size, add my fusible interfacing to the wrong side of it, and then I'll show you what to do next. So place your fabric right side together and pin. The next step, I've made sure my tops of my bag is aligned here. That's the most crucial thing. Just make sure that's lined there. So I'm going to sew around my bag. I'm going to use a stitch 2.83 long. If your sewing machine doesn't like sewing denim, I strongly suggest a denim needle. That can make a big difference to how your sewing machine copes. But I do have a video, I'll put a link in to show you how to sew through denim. Every sewing machine is different to what they can cope with. I'm very fortunate, I've got a very old Vanina and that's quite happy with layers of fabric. So you're going to sew down the side, along the bottom here, and then along the side here. So here you have it, the basis of a bag. I've turned it the right side out so you can see. This is the top with the waistband, and this is the bottom. I am going to box the corners, so let me show you how to do that. So to box the corners you do need the bag the wrong side out. So I'm going to show you two different methods of boxing corners. One I've used many times and one's quite new to me and I love it. So the first method for boxing corners is to fold your fabric so the two seams meet. I'm going to pull my seam allowance apart. And I like to put a pin in to try and align those two seams really neat. As you can see, it's a bit of trial and error. That's better. So this is a method I've used for a long time. And then I tend to, using quilter's ruler, how wide do I want my bag? I think I'm going to go for 3 inches. So what I need is 1.5 inches essentially along that seam, following down that seam. So I've got a nice 90-degree angle here. I'm just going to mark along here. And sew. So this is one corner stitched. I'm just going to sew it. And then I'll turn the bag the right side out and show you. So I've trimmed the corner. Let me show you what it looks like on the other side. With a bit of luck, I've got my seams aligned really well. Wow, I have. Now that is a really good aligned corner. There you go. But I want to show you a different method. This is a bit hit and miss. Sometimes I don't get such a neat join here. So let me show you a different method. So remember we measured 1.5 inches for our stitch line before. So we want to do the same. So I am going to measure a 1 inch square which is going to give me 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'm going to cut it out through both layers of the fabric. Like that. So we've cut our square out. I'm going to fold the two seams together again, just like we did on the other corner. And we're going to create a straight line from that corner, that square, aligning our seams. As you can see, that's a much easier method for aligning your two seams. And now we're just going to stitch along there. Remember, we've got 1/2 inch seam allowance. So there you have it, 2 boxed corners, creating the base of your bag. So now we've made the outer bag. We're going to focus on the lining. I've cut out my lining fabric, which is the same size as the outer bag, so that's 18 inches by 15.5 for the iron-on interfacing here. I've cut out some fabric for the 2 pockets. I've got a zip I'm going to shorten and a magnetic snap. The slip pocket piece measures 7 by 13 inches. So we're going to start by making a slip pocket. So you're going to cut out your fabric, iron it, fold it in half, and we're going to stitch down the side and along the bottom. So I've stitched round. I'm just going to trim the corners here. That helps reduce bulk. And then turn it to the right side out. I'm just going to push those corners out, or attempt to. Right, I'm going to give that a good press, and I'm going to turn in this raw edge here whilst I'm pressing, like that. So here is my pressed pocket. Now I'm going to add it to my lining. I'm going to put the folded in edge at the bottom. So I'm going to measure this in position. I need to allow, so there's the interfacing, then I need to allow room for a magnetic snap and then the pocket. So that looks a good visual distance to me. So that is 4 inches down. And let's just measure across. So this is 15.5, my seam allowance. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually that is 4 3/4 either side, which I just managed to get by eye, very fortunately. So let's pin that in place. So now you've got that pinned in place, you're going to top stitch it in to secure it. Now I am going to do a back stitch here and here, because this is going to be the point that's going to take the most wear and tear when you take things in and out of your pocket. So do back stitch and then run round. If you don't know what that means start, stitch, go reverse back and then back down again. So here is your finished slip pocket. That was ever so quick and easy. I've done my top stitching, my back stitching here. That makes it a good and secure slip pocket, perfect for mobile phones, keys, everything you need to access quickly. Let's move on and do the zip pocket for the other side of the lining. So This piece of fabric measures 24 by 11 inches and it's going to fold up to create a pocket with the zip. So you're going to have a good sized pocket. I'm just going to start off by zigzagging all my raw edges just to finish them off so they don't fray. So I'm going to shorten this zip to 9 inches. So I'm just going to mark the measurement. The length of the zip is measured from the zip pull to the stopper of the zip. So I've marked where I need to cut it to, or the length of the zip, sorry. And I'm just going to sew several times to create a stop. So you don't want the zip running on and on and on. So I'm just stitching back and forth over that zip line. You can do this on a machine if you prefer. And then I'm just going to trim it. Obviously with a metal zipper, you don't want to be ruining your scissors. So I only recommend this technique for a plastic zipper. There we go. One shortened zip. So place your fabric for the pocket right side facing the right side of the lining, and you need it 2.5 inches in and 2.5 inches down from the corner of your interfacing. You'll be able to feel this through the fabric, so that's my seam allowance. We're going to mark the position of the zip. Remember the zip is 9 inches long, so I'm going to go down 1.5 inches and in 3/4 inch. This is a washable pen, so it will just wash out. You could use tailor's chalk. And then finish off creating a box for our zip. I'm going to go for not 1/2 inch, not 3/4, whatever it is in between, 5/8. I'm going to pin that in place and I'm going to stitch round my marked line. And then once I've stitched around it, I'm going to cut it out like this. So into the corners in a V-like shape, along the middle, here and here. But first I'm going to stitch this outer line. Right, you stitched round, so we're going to cut out. This is so we can move the lining through, not the lining, the pocket lining, that's what I mean, through to the wrong side. I've sewn the zip pin and removed the tacking stitches. So I'm going to fold the fabric of the pocket up so the edges meet, and I'm going to very carefully stitch around the 3 raw edges, so along the side, along the top and down, and I'm going to just be very careful not to catch any of the actual lining of the bag in my stitching whilst I sew round. So there we have it, one finished zip pocket. With a good opening, as you can see on the back. Right, on to magnetic snaps. So now onto the magnetic snaps, we need to centre these on the bag. I add a little rectangle of fusible fleece. So that needs to be, if it's 15.5, that needs to be just around about here, in the middle. So I'm going to iron that on for both sides, and then we're going to mark the position. So if our bag is 15.25, 15.5. The bag is 15.5. I just turned it into it, the edges of interfacing, so I know where the stitch line is. So that would be positioned here, I believe. So it's 7.75. Let me just check that that's 7.75 the other way. Yes. So the centre of your magnetic snap is 7.75, and it's a good inch down from the top of your lining. So marking position. Now I'm going to put little snips through. I like to use my seam ripper for this. You can use scissors. So place your prongs through, put your washer over, fold it out. And repeat for the second side. To finish it off, I'm just going to add a little square of interfacing over the top just to make that really secure. That can be a weak position in a bag, and it can come through, I know to my experience. We're going to sew the two sides of the lining together. So I've put the right sides together, magnetic snaps shut, pinned all the way around. You're going to stitch down the sides in a couple of inches, 2.5, stop, because this is going to be a turning gap. Then you're going to start again here, along, and then we're going to box the corners as we did before for the outer of the bag. So we've done our lining and our bag, so we need to sort out straps. But I've just realised that I want to keep this lovely top stitching here. I don't want to fold it in. So rather than inserting the denim bag inside the lining, stitching all the way around and turning inside out through the turning gap, I'm going to change the technique, and I'm going to sew along here. So, got my lining, got my bag. I'm going to insert the lining inside the denim, and I'm going to turn the top over and press it, but let's just see what that's like for size first. Sometimes your sewing can be millimetre accurate and it all fits beautifully. Other times you might need to just alter your seam fractionally. So how I check that the two fit is I put the two seams together, and pin that in place, and repeat for the other side. I'm just opening out my seam allowance. Be kind to my sewing machine. Right, does this fit? So I'm just going to go around and pin and see if my lining is any bigger than my denim. Hopefully not. If it is, it's easily adjustable. Yeah, it is bigger. Let me just see how much bigger. By a reasonable amount, which means I must have got my measurements wrong at some point. So what I'm going to do is take it out, redo the side seam of the lining and make sure it fits first. So the lining, I've turned the top edge over and pressed it. Now I'm going to insert the lining into the bag. And match the side seams up. And we're going to be stitching this from the outside, so I'm going to pin it from the outside. You could of course use clover clips if you prefer. So I've matched it each side at the seam, and now I'm just going to fiddle with this until it fits. And then we need to insert our labels, not labels, insert the straps. So pin all the way around, then you need to get your straps. I've got webbing. I've just cut this to the length of a bag I've already got, approximately, which is about 32 inches. Bear in mind I'm tall though, and I've allowed quite a bit for going in. So I'll do this by eye, I'll measure it and then I can make sure it goes in at the same distance this side from the edge. And repeat for the other side. So I'm making sure they align nicely. Ideally, for my sewing machine's sake, I'd rather not have a strap over here, but it is the way my jeans are made. So let me just double check, because I have done that by eye. starts 1.5 inches from the edge. Let's just check the same. Ooh, 1 3/4. Let's just move that along a fraction then. To be honest, nobody's going to notice if you haven't got this quite right. You'll know, and I'll know, that I haven't quite got this as I wanted. So let's move that there. Right. Oh, that's no good. In fact, that one's twisted. Look at that. Let me remedy that. So this is webbing I picked up from a local sewing shop. You can buy it online if you can't get it locally where you live. Alright, just need to move that along a little. Brilliant. So now that's all pinned in place, I'm going to stitch round all the way around, and I'm going to follow this stitch line here and follow this stitch line here, so that the straps are held twice, which is really going to help with carrying the weight, whatever you're going to put in this rather large denim tote, or deep denim tote. Here we have it, your finished denim tote bag. You can accessorise it, you can put scarves through the belt loops, you could put buttons along the edges of the pockets. There are lots of different ways you could jazz the bag up. Personally, I like it simple and plain. I have lots of further bag patterns, tutorials over on my blog. Find the info below. Don't forget to subscribe for further tutorials and patterns. Thanks for watching.